Zonjian Jonan La Janjong Bardon Dane Japson Dage Jin Zon Jin Bez Donla Benje Zanje Domba Yu Zanje Jundan Zonjian Jonan La Janjong Bardon Dane Japson Dage Jin Zon Jin Bez Zunan Jin Donla Benze Zanje Domba Yu Sanje Jundan Zonje Junan La Janjong Bardon Dane Jazoy Dage Jin Zon Jin Be Zunan Donla Benze Zanje Domba Yu Simje Damje Dewa Dewe Judan Dembar Jorje Donga Dan Donga Je Judan Dawar Jorje Donga Mebe Dewa Damba Damandawa Jorje Nere Jadan Dandar Tamnyo Jimbo La Nembar Jorje Simje Damje Dewa Dewe Judan Dembar Jorje Donga Dan Donga Je Judan Dawar Donga Mebe Dewa Damba Damandawa Jorje Nere Jadan Nidan Tamnyo Jimbo La Nembar Jorje Simje Damje Dewa Dewe Judan Dembar Jorje Donga Dan Donga Je Judan Dawar Jorje Donga Mebe Dewa Damba Damandawa Jorje Nere Jadan Dandar Tamnyo Jimbo La Nembar Jorje. Page number 5. Sajya Bunjo Zojya Medo Dam Rai Leja Nyede Jimba Sanjaya Shendo Mede Burwai Drogun Namda Shendo Jimba Yo Simje Namje Zamba Noye Jenda Jenda Wa Jedong Dumoy Deba Chujin Gorlo Gordon Simji Tamche Zogo Sanje Je Kumban La Tobar Sebe Serdo Yorwa Sancho Simji Monandro Gone Had Nisi Gordis. Whatever practice we do, we have to begin with generating Bodhisattva. This means that for the benefit of all sentient beings, I'm going to listening to and reflect and on meditate on teachings of the Dharma.
Sanjoki Simji Domba. The Shavalani Baban Jayan, Judy Shavala Sobana, Jubati, Samota Lockdown, the case in Bari. Nida Baba Samba ne Lobu Tommy Jug, Tomer Jug, Jo Selengba, Selengba, Lama Cosella Chebo, Chedon Lasoban, Jo Selengba Judita. Tadanga also Charbet, Indonesia, La Koranki, Lombatru Imbadi, Tesoja, La Penit, Cosella Chidom, Lasso Batine, Sanjus into Domachine, the Marjus Baris.
So we're talking about receiving the Bodhisattva vows, and there are two different traditions that come from through Nagarjuna and Asanga. The one that comes through Nagarjuna, it's called profound view, and another one it's called extensive conduct. So the profound view, actually, we already discussed, and now extensive conduct tradition that comes from through Asanga to the Golden Master, which is from Indonesia. He's one of the great Mahayana masters who received and kept the lineage of the Bodhisattva vows, and down through Lord Atisha and to Tibet.
Tini tata selling block tele damne tela tangbo tini tela nide tangbo sanjo to member semji dan jube semji lock tela member semji dan jube semji tangbo member semji la Moimba Simji Sebar Sebala, Jorwa the Nubi Gis, Ramda, Concondo, Keba Nagi di Kiwaris. The Jorwa la Kare Gorjulisina, Tambo Jorwa la, Maran la, Tini, Sancho Gisin, Tabachi Milan, Loban Dogin Dog. Did the Lobar Sebala, the Inesor Yabo, the Hako Gondog. Their call Sebala Lama Yabo, Tin, Lamala, Nano Sin, Sora Yabo Dabate. Sora adapte. What the Nilama Ke, Loma la Takes, Carse, the Karanga Sanjo Gisi, Yona, Sanjo Singa, Joba Gamsola, Joe Tower Mandok, the Nitarana Gawa, Badame, but Joe Gube Senate, Joe Tower Mandok, Dogas and Takes, Sene, the data with Semji, Takes, Sene, Koranla, Sembuta.
So that particular tradition actually have also two different aspects, that of aspiration and development of a bodhisattva. So aspiration has, of course, as usual, it has a preparation and actual conclusion part. Then preparation part is that first you have to have genuine wish to practice and study, and then based on that you have to actually enter into the learning part and get the knowledge. And after you understand all the benefit of practice of aspiration, bodhisattva, and then you have to approach to a master who has experienced it and request to give instructions on the particular path.
Lodeng Simjin Dona, Zonto Bataruyona, didn't they said, Tambo Tosa Goris, Tomasana draw Maganton, Caris, Tomasana draw Maganto, the Carisina, Marantu, then he gives him a lag, Rebecca Tela, Yami Tabo Rinpoche, Tenjaro Kaptela, Tamanjaro Kacharanka Man, Karayan somebody. Masonari Kizolens, Tabo Sonari Kizolens. Oh, Tacharan, Soina, Tokiza, don't draw up in the Lama Rinpoche. Give up Momon and Sauce and Java Jan. Then they endeavor G, Tadangarang Tribadi, the Nindros in him. Pint of what he is on the Sosa Java Jan, endeavor to Undian what he is.
So then the master has to actually analyze that whether that student is eligible to receive such a practice and such a teaching, and see if that person has enough courage, enthusiasm, and confidence in faith in the practice. So, and plus also it requires accumulation of a merit, and then purifying obscurations as usual. Accumulation merit is actually has to go before purification, because without accumulation merit, you can't really purify the negativities, and these two things has to some sort of comes one after another. One of the example is that when Gampopa first met Milarepa, and Milarepa asked him, "What is your name?" And he says, "My name is Sonam Rinchen," which means a precious merit. And Milarepa says, "That's great, because you have such a name, and that's because you already have done so much accumulation of merit. As a result, you already purify all your negativities." So because of all these cause and conditions brought us together to have a connection with the profound practice of the Dharma.
Tambo Cho Sakwa La Tine, Tening Anju Juja, Cho Masan the draw me yesterday. Thing Anju Yomon would drop a yelly, keeps the drop a yelly, drop a yelly, take care of my watches, such a would drop a tepa. Jambar Sebala, Chosa Gubale, Chosa Balata, So Tenita Yela Dumbate, Zorcheva de Teni, Tada, Yela Dumbate, Roko release, Tenisa, Yela Dumbate, Saratan, Teni, Juba Parvatan, the Bashabatan, Teni Gavala Gisayarawat, Chujum Holo, Gorwatan. Nyang le Mandawa Yuba Sora Taba. Geza Namkila Namega Zoba Sanjo Tobaset, the Sinki Danjit, Tondo, Moa Yanta began the bar. What they think you make it sound to see. Shortsibala, when the drug is.
When we talk about the purification and accumulation of merit, these two actually not completely two different things, because accumulation merit itself is a method to purifying our negativities and obscurations. So that's why the accumulation of merit is the best way to purify one's own negativities. So when we do accumulation of merit, there are generally we have a 7 branch offering prayers. So these are the most unique and effective methods to accumulating our merit, which is the best way to purifying our negativities. So these 7 branch offerings, of course, include prostration and making offerings and confession and rejoice others' positive activities, and request Buddha not to pass into Nirvana, and the request to turn the wheel of teaching of the Dharma, and then dedicate all the merit to all sentient being without any hopes, further expectations, which means pure and genuine dedication. So if one could do all these things, this would be the right and appropriate method to accumulating our merit. which is also one of the necessary requirements to receive the Bodhisattva vows as well. So that means it's based for it has to be ground for the Bodhisattva vow as well.
Tani te de Gavishini te yang, Tupa Chembu Gavishini, Koran yang, Lama Tsingi dan Dengba tang, Teya Sancho Sinchi, Senji Domba Dengba, Senji Domba te da Manyamba. Tani te Lana te, Tupa Chembu Lana, Lob Jimba Tsingi dan Dengba. Tani Jachewa, Jachewa, Joba Sancho Sinji, Denu Lasoba Namji, Tsingi, Nyamso Lama, Tuba Kowatan, Tubatan, Sambatan di Maimba, Don Nyamso Nyuma Dembate, Tubate, Jachembo, Jija, Chembori, Tambo, Tubacco, Tuba Maple Gombane, Mula Lion Miki, Dronking Jober Kala News on the Drug. Make Longa training Mina. Tin drogo the kandro mehiwa nangi je tuba jachembo tuba mina lana jomu ki songole. Tin tuba yang ta tuba mabo je se kana yang ti tonda te nyamso malang na kare si na tu che se che ti na jongdang ta je le de na oke ti tambe he de le ma so karsang konsong me ba ji ri so na pe ke le ma ri. Te lama Koran la te nangi ki tukpa chimbi lana lop jimba, tsengi dan daimba. O ti kengan ne, teni gewe ki nyi ji loma te la, damba nambar sawa serdo, o teni damba nangro kyu sa se ne, dambo tru go liris.
So once you have this accumulation of merit, then you have to receive the Bodhisattva vow from Master. And when we talk about the Master and here describe the quality of the Master, so Master has to be, of course, who already received the Bodhisattva vow, as well maintained and practice, and Master who has to have all the three aspects of the qualities of the practice, which is listening, contemplating, and meditation. So if that Master doesn't have the quality of all these three, and then it won't be appropriate source to receive the Bodhisattva vow. And it's not if it's just somebody who's very intellectually scholar and who has a lot of listening and contemplating but not meditation, so then it won't be qualified enough to be a right Master. So that's why all these three things has to be together, because if somebody have only listening and learning and educated through intellectual wisdoms, of course this is one of the important part of the practice of the Buddhism, because it says that without listening, and then if somebody try to do a meditate, means blind person try to walk to a destination. So that means it is absolutely necessary to have a listening and contemplating, means a study. But if somebody have only education and study and not practice, then it's just like listening or hearing these sort of stories. So when you listen and hear all these exotic and funny stories, but there's nothing to practice in it, So one day you listen and one day it'll disappear. So that's why the Master has to have both practice and listening. So once they have that, and then it's the right Master, you can receive the Bodhisattva vow.
Tani te indu ta loma te la tani ta cherang korwa le taran de lo yuna lo in de ba yuna mina si tawasi ningan korwa le taran de ba yang ta ko tar go do te tarba se be tap la na me ba te to no ji si te so wa ta be tin ko la jo wa ji be tap ji go ne o tani ngor ne so
So of course, the reason why we have to do this is because we have to free from suffering, and we have to sacrifice the temporary pleasures of the samsaric existence. So therefore, Master would ask you, if you really want to achieve enlightenment, if you really want to get rid of suffering of the samsara, and then you have to be, of course, ready. And then Master supposed to give more instruction that has useful method and helpful for sacrifice, temporary happiness, and also to gain more confident and determination to achieve enlightenment.
Ni te de dan ko la kyo che sa de ko la kyo che de ko dong ha de la ta se be sin kyo che ne o tu ri ngaran chu de ne rang ge che ban dong ha so de san kyo che le kyo che lo de chi ba de la sam cha ri go ni che ba yo li ngaran chu ban dong ha so de kyo che ta ngaran dong ha de da hin ma da san la pen hi ma li the Georgia Sola, Coral Taran de Law. Ninjong, Jolly, and Coral Nibanjum Law, Jolly, Taran de Law, the Gine, or take your Sebala, Tambo, Tambu Drover Sebala, Condicate and team a little bit, King gave it in it up there down, Kisumba Nangi Gone. Team Madrid, thank your Chabati Deva top. Yo toba zanji maje ji yin gewe hinyi dan tre ne de nin koro ne so yang da wa je ha ko ne o da den koro de le tan na yang ni yang de ko ne ze la mang bo ni ko do di pen do ma do de ni de yang ni yang de rin ko ta ru tu ma do so ne o dan koro de le jo wa je ta o de ru ko yo ko li.
So when we talk about the sacrifice the samsara or renounce the samsara, it's not just trying to get rid of some of the certain temporary pains and unhappy. But when we talk about the renounce samsara, means that you have to understand the full faults and limitation and pain that experience in suffering, and not only once and twice in one's life, but through so many lifetimes and generations and so forth. So that's why you have to understand that to get rid of this, the best way is to free from samsara. So then we have to understand that there's the only method that we can use to get to free from this samsaric existence is to practice the dharma. And of course we have to understand that we have appropriate ground or foundation to approach that method, because we already have a precious human birth, which is extremely difficult to achieve, and it's so easy to lose. So that's why we should have a very clear understanding and appreciation for that. And not only that, then we have master, and we have the teaching and practice. So therefore, understanding that all these are actually would not arise from no cause and condition. So these require so many cause and conditions. So therefore, once we have that, we should not waste. So this is the way we start to renounce the samsara.
Teni tela tan khoro tan tambe chu drobar seba la ni ka te manthoi ba ri te imbe jimji kare se malare ba ke so le me drug khoro ndel parte na tambon khoro nyam ga ma pardon khoro lodeng ji tama tsoing dong tan mi ba khoro ne le khen ba lo si su na ji ji go ni ha tru ya ba ri je dan khoro se de ki bo ye li tam khoro Gola per Nyago. Tenin Kora Pada, send the Utameba, Lodenki. 아니 다만 거라티 좀 빨리 쫓아는 전동도 쫓아 기와리 짓는 거라들 타러면
So practice the Dharma and samsaric activities are actually very opposite and contradiction. The practice the Dharma is of course not so pleasure at the beginning, but then the more you do it, you will get the more happiness and so forth. So samsara is completely opposite of like that, because Milarepa says that one of the reason I hate so much this samsara is because at the beginning it looks like and sounds like and feels like happiness, and then slowly it getting worse and worse, and eventually it becomes a jail that has no entrance and no exit, and completely dark. So therefore, the samsara happiness is the biggest cheater. So that's why I want to turn away from it, and I want to eradicate the samsaric pleasures.
Dramdake Korala Dungayo Pesana, they Joaji Pesardo, Deji. The need the other Joajine, that Charan, Terwachi Milana Logona, Singing Tangeli, Hingiji, Singing Tangeli, Hingiji, and other person, Singing Tangeli, Hingiji, or Hingi Gongol, the Guilty Gardens, Hako Mari. They do the Singing time. Cheram Mambo Chene, Chang Masebari, Tata Madi Bati, Trainjang or Kangi Bati, Cheram Mambo Chene Trainjang Wadi, Trainjang Shabate, Trinina, Naibak, Lim Majarbagone, Tani Ningiji Gori, Simki Tam, Sancho Drop, Tap Lana Meba Jura, Cora Tower Sebe, Serdo. That's simply the Mukinji. I was simply the Mukinji, Sigi Pama Majorum, they ancora Dunga, Jansol Tarkundo, Del Tartap, Caresanas, and the Tita Lojong, Lake Banagi to go in your police.
So that samsara that we're talking about actually has, of course, many different categories and many different classifications. There's no point to talk in each realms and so forth, because we have already did so many times. And basically, existence of the three realms are samsara. So therefore, as long as if you are within that 6 realms or 3 levels of the realms, we are in a samsara. So to free from that, of course, we choose the path of Bodhisattva path. So to do that, the most important thing that we have to do is practice on compassion. So if somebody tells you that you have to practice compassion, and automatically a question comes up, why? Why do you have to do that? So particularly when we talk about the compassion towards all sentient beings, and why you have to do that for all sentient beings? Why not just for certain, Why do I have to do like single person, have to do this all, and so on and so forth? But one of the reasons is that because we owe them, because all sentient beings already been our mother. So therefore, when they were our mother, they were extremely kind for us, and they took care of us so well, and so on and so forth. So therefore, we owe them a lot. So all these sentient beings, since all of them have been our mother, so they are as important as our present mother. So that's why you should treat all sentient beings same as your present mother.
Tani dati ninja chebo jingdu sanje tam tobar doiba lo daiba namba som dama doiba dama doiba da ye chiban doiba o tani tandu yichi ye dama doiba dan doiba doiba ye chiban doiba som jiba ji de tani sanje tobar doiba lo dama daiba jina ri, daiba daiba jina ri, dada ye jiba daiba jina ji di, ngana sanje toku, sanje maru tani tab mandok samba je yuna, dati daiba daiba asali, dada daiba namba so kanam ji de. Tani dada re jina, dada dine, dadi de, daiba sin daiba namba so da ji chardu, Lama chola, daiba jide, lama la mugu, jebar sao, si te dare, lama la mugu jide, da konjo som jingo, konjo som ji, za som jibel, da lama cheran rindo, cheran ngala ke daiba, se gigen, si lama la mugu jide, si daiba na so karan goni te jebar sao, si.
So of course, when we do this practice, they always require these devotions in different aspects of devotions. Generally, we describe these devotions classified into 3 different devotions. The first one is called Tangwetepa, means a devotion of some sort of pure perception. A devotion of sacred outlook, and the second one is devotion of trust, and then another one is devotion of a sort of attached, well, not really attachment, but devotion of wanting. So these, all of them or one of them are always required to practice these things. So then who you have to have a devotion to, of course, 3 jewels. And then for our case, for ordinary practitioners, and we have to have such a devotion to one's own guru too. And we have to sort of understand how important one's own guru is. And we have to try to understand that that is the source of the 3 jewels, an embodiment of the 3 jewels, because all the quality and knowledge and realization that you have to gain from the 3 jewels, it has to come through one's own root guru or master. So that's why we have to have a pure vision of the guru as well.
Tene loma di, lobung ji sun dake shotes, lobung gong su, lobung dala gong su sors, ta de jidu si jene, jadan hunje dewa kyukba, da jomba, yanda ba zobo sanje sanjo samba ta, sa chenpo li yukba sanjo samba, nam ji isi. Devar kyukba, da jomba, sanje jom dinte, zobo sanje jom dinte nanda, sa chenpo te, sa tangpo ne, sa ta kyoba pa la soba, kyoba pa ganda, sa chenpo tsuji ta, tongla toba ne, sa chenpo se yuri. Sa chenpo ne yupa sanjo samba nanda. Teye tangbo la na meba yangdo ko sanjo ki toke ba te gendo si. Jatan Hunja de Sanjok Tong, Kibala, Sanjosum, Labala, the Wind, Labala, Rambagin, Labar Gisi, John Jogleson, and Gesamota, you will look to someone, Nagi, Yogoni, Yogois.
So then disciple has to request master and saying, Master or Lord or whatever, and listen to me. Please bestow the Bodhisattva vow to me, as same as all the past Buddhas who achieved enlightenment, the great Bodhisattvas who are in higher level of the bhumis, and all the Bodhisattvas who are at least achieve first bhumi of the Bodhisattvas. The same way, and they have done, and they have generated their Bodhisattva, and same way that the way they pass down the lineage. So please bestow me in exactly same way as what they have done.
Sanjojo the talk about taking the Mengde Hije Jans, that Meng the Charanga Mankareo, Deju, Deni, Tedara, Deni de Capsule, Deni Sanjo Saint Dom Magna, so you are it. What intelligent Chulok the Poaches, Chulok the Chulok Chibukele, Kajela Karmanangari, Kagela, got the famous Nangari, Kajela, Drama the Manangari, Mang the Nang Tane, Wabunji Chulana, maybe Yanzo Sanjok, the same keeper, Mukbakeeper, Zed Susi, Lisa Amjun, Lobunji, Cherantal, Yangda Bazoba Sanji, Companto of Sanjok, Tambo Sinki Parsao, the Lisa Amjuji.
So then you have to say an I, whatever is your name, and entering into path of a bodhisattva. So then there's some verse that you have to repeat after master. So basically what you're doing is you're changing, transforming from ordinary into bodhisattva. So that's why some of the traditions will give you at that point a new name. It's called a bodhisattva name. So that is like sign of changing from one into another. Of course, if you're, it depends on which tradition you belongs to. In Tibetan, we have 4 main major traditions. If you belong to Kaji, your name begin with the karma. And then, you know, other ones are Pema or Tenzin or whatever, you know.
Oh, Tani Teta Lizo June, Taniba Tosabane, Tambulamo Kosomla, Sasawa time. Then Musa Shamba, Shamba Chuba, Method, Dubu, Marme, Trejap, Dadzun, Chuba, Kanye, but in Chuba Parata. Chuba, Jorba said the Lutrones, News in Jorba, the Yaker Chuba. That is the way Chuba, that the Mazan way Chuba, Lana, maybe Chuba. Lana Yeba Chuba, Lasopota, Mambos only, Dorna coins of Mujiji. Kan Muso, Munte Tampie, the Niji Georgian Chuba Portland really. They mean a Musu Chuba, Jachabo, Musin Jordan Chuba. The Jachabo Cassatum, the Sonia the Gizo, take it. So
then, of course, you have to do the accumulation part and 7 branch offerings again, which is begin by prostration, and we do prostration like a general, and then making offerings. So when it comes to offerings, there are many different levels of offering that we could do, and material offering, and also imagination offering, and surpassable offering, and unsurpassable offering, and that's actually depend on individual what is easier for them. If one could manage to make a material offerings based on your, whatever. And then if you can't do that, you can imagine that every good thing that exists in this universe and in countless universe that you're making offering that to grow into jewels.
Bini teten jeba porne, tela, teni sotarje domba wandu senane, getorje domba ten, kimbo lopun, kenole toba yinosi, gelonta domba ne genole toba yinosi, daton don sotarje domba kyowan sen, teyas, kyowan yonti loktar de sene, semji jiti sena, tegwa chembi domba la nengerwa yinosi sumbata, norna da domba, 강에 생기지 세이마지리 마토데 특바 경고단 겸보세데 노나 대란 소수 삼바디아 지정 그거는 특바 지정 예유리 마도 더인다 특바 겸보시 야 겸보시 저거시 마게 특바 경고시 만만 밥도 해야 들은 말이 네가 된 상지 좀 이제 소셜距离 나는 랍샤부距离 얘네야 디텔 simply one more lamje, one more something to study for the song body matter, your mice.
So when we receive that Bodhisattva vow, of course there are like monastic vows are also included. We have a half monk and then full monk vow, and which these are actually more like the Hinayana or Theravada tradition. Based on the early teachings, or it's called in self-liberation part, but really different between the higher vehicle or lower is just to depend on individuals' the practice level of their bodhicitta or compassion. There's no such a thing says, oh, this is bigger and higher, it's Mahayana, and this is smaller and weaker, it's a Theravada or Hinayana. Usually the differentiation between that is individual, always at individual's level of the realization of bodhicitta or compassion.
Tenita Sancho Silne, Tela, La, number need. Soina ki tsosa kwa le sancho sisi domba jewa yino shisumba de dedariya ranlan yorba chenpo yona yorba chung maung de esi bana ranlan yorba chenpo ya chenpo yona ten chungchang ke ngubo chungchang ke pon mayang de deyan chordang chewardang gubu jimsi deyan hun sancho tsumba pardan yorba denba taki jangya chewardan de zula kang sewa porne jatang jo tambor sanchong jo de simpi do se karba sam dol suma nai de barna gomba zula kang da wo tru sewa porne sanchong jo de toki do chi sumbaris.
So when we receive these bodhisattva vows, of course there are certain different ways of receiving, and the first one is called receiving through accumulating merit, and so that is more like through making offerings and so forth. So when we talk about the offerings, it's always depend on the individuals. When we talk about the material offerings, it's in individuals' level of the wealth. If you are very rich, and you have to make a very big offering, and if you're not rich, you don't have to make a big offering. Because it always depend on one's own capability. So the reason why we have to make a big offering is that in the past, all these great bodhisattvas, wealthy bodhisattvas, made countless mandalas and temples and so forth.
Tini teyan tegay chajin zamlang jaku tse tegay jiwa dawa tokhtela zula kan sewa porne jan tambor semti do si kondon dewa sonsin bari. Then Yorba Chungo, Yorba Chungo, Nose, Sanjo Perea, Choba, they can see Cares in Hunsan Josema, Yorba Chunganagi, Rumbo Chunze, Tawa Yende, Zanyama Nyama Kegla, Dreame Porne, Sanjo, the same Batea, they gain you for Troncher, they gain you for Troncher thing, but they gain you for Taye Hotel, I drama down the Pornida, down for Sanjo, the same Dosi. They're only Yorba Chechong to tell you, Mado. Yorba Chemo, oh, na, then or man semness of John Rodis. Then Yorba Mina, your Mina Garasa, Jogi, Chochom, those are low maris, but the side drums upon San Jojo, then people, she was somebody's.
So the price for the Bodhisattva vow, there's no standard or fixed price. It's always depend on the individual. If you're poor and wealthy, of course you can make a very little offering. It's because in ancient time also some of the bodhisattvas, they're very poor and they generate and receive bodhisattva vows through making offering of the lump from a one piece of a grass, made a lump offering with a one single, what do you call it? Blade of a grass. So what it's trying to say is that it's not depend on the wealth at all. If you have a lot, you can make a lot. If you don't have, then you don't have to. So that means it's important is the one's own, enthusiasm of receiving and practice the Bodhisattva vow.
Teni te gento yang jorba zani me parchon ta mecha te ta mecha magute te yang samsa linsom so sa linsom channe choko si te yang garusina mon sanjo so ban jorba me pataki tarmo linsom janne sanjo jodo sepe ba yang yodo si te yang 대개교 뭐 연진 중디제 대개교 뭐 지니 적텔라 산제 삼사 탈몰리서 자르당보 산종교도 샘지도 세워 들어서 여러 제정교 원도 세네 여러 매바다 여러 호텔로 지정면 되니 초사 뭐 somebody's.
So if you don't have anything, absolutely nothing, so then you don't need anything. Because in past times, there are so many great bodhisattvas realized through doing a prostration, paying their respect through their, postures. And at least you could do a 3 prostration, So that means absolutely is not depend on the wealth.
다 숨바 잡선 로베 개발지네 공도 개발 날라와서 잠로다 공도 개발 날라와서 잠론데 되니 가장 잠론데 개발이 심바이바르다 다른 데게나 건드는도 다 대답을 되니 잡죠 로라다 산제 drop 미시베 니보 산정도 특기 뒤에와 뭐 반죠 때문에 펜조지 라바서 선생님하고 다보서지 뒤가다 되니 건조선을 잡죠 로고 somebody 대한테 받침 못 잡서 송알아 소타르제 돈바 가능다 근데 뭐 소타르집데 바 가능도 된다 돈바 저기 거기 다데 가르세나 야티 교교 블록다도 세나 되니 소소 상종 시 돈바 효와라 소소다 된 가노도 내가 기구바 예노 송바리 되니 대 인두다 대라 되니 담보 건조섬라 겹선조와 미케시다 되니 건조섬라 겹송아 미케던 데바디 강사 대예노 대라다 겸조 능은 추 뭐만조래 특바 준비를 상종교도 생계바디 심지 담견저로 담보 특바 준비도래세라 렉세바디 구시 개발 가운데바 많이 렉단 라자 렉단 이렇게 렉단 특바 준비 렉기 렉나바 고예 공시세바다 다 특바 준비 렉도지다 렉 특바 준비 렉 렉세바 간사세를 데이터 가능 그 히바사오시 somebody's.
So, when we talk in this Bodhisattva vow, it's also include the refuge, taking refuge in 3 jewels as well, which actually we already talk about these totally. But so to receive that refuge, and of course there are requirements for the ground. Foundation, of course, it's depend on what kind of tradition that you are belongs to, whether your profound view or extensive conduct. So this is based on extensive conduct, require the one of the 7 precepts of self-liberation. It's required for the receive the refuge vow. Of course, we have to take refuge in these 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha.
Tani tegindu ta te tawo jamro te la jasun rowa kena jasun rowa te ngikti la chaktarji chaktarji changpa ta chamjo mahan dewa la sopa ranang de yorje penna yorji ran chakan choan yongsheng la sopa te la towo che lo towo che nana jasun rowa yina se teni jasun rowa me te kwe te jamma tope sere main ho kisonde the angti dana ratane na satane sone ji kunga woda dodane junghen la japson ro jap de zo main ho kisong basaros.
So then we have to talk about who we are going to take refuge in. Of course, these 3 jewels and so forth. Generally, there are 2 different ways of taking refuge. The reason why there's 2 different ways because there are 2 result and 2 different purpose. Generally, everybody take refuge in one thing or another. So what we are talking about refuge here is because we are seeking achieve enlightenment. So that's why we cannot take refuge in certain things. For example, it says it has a question and says that who we are going to take a refuge in. Are we going to take a refuge in these local god and mountain spirits, or forests, and trees, and rivers, and oceans, and the lakes, and so forth? No, this is not right source of refuge because they cannot solve our problem, and they cannot prevent us to fall into cycle of existence, which is full of suffering. So that's why we have to find something that is better quality and better ability to free us from the suffering.
Ani ona pama ni chobo la soba rana zegen peiban deba gawa na yebe tena na japson roa hena deyan jam top de jambar number open dole pama chuge jamme Niki Zala Namjang Main, Dedakine, Pornene, Jadam Dagagendan, Rohisumba, Jamatopasaros.
So then, what about our parents and relatives and loved ones? Can they be our source of refuge? No. It says one of the sutra that is a sutra from the Buddha. It says, all these father, mother, relatives, and friends, they cannot be our source of refuge because they themselves need refuge. And therefore, they cannot protect us from the suffering of samsara. They cannot prevent us to fall into existence of samsara. So therefore, they are not right object for our refuge.
Tekonji Jamatopa Jumti Jaya Sarikena Sita, Topan Rontrasena. Jab Topa Koran Koranji, Nohale Tane, Tarpaka Gute, Tekonji in Japata Matarbeker, Nohata gave us her, Nohatin the Tarwan Sanjeli Midos.
So then it says, why can they be our source of refuge? Because these are the most important ones for us. And then the answer is the reason why we need to seek refuge is because we have to free from suffering and we have to achieve enlightenment. So therefore, they cannot be our object of refuge because they themselves need also refuge and protection. So then who has that ability and power to lead us to a stage of enlightenment? Who has the power to liberate us from samsara? All the enlightened existence, enlightened beings, because they already achieve enlightenment and they already free from suffering. So therefore, they can be right and appropriate source of refuge for us.
Teni Sanje Tarpane Sanje Lemite, Sanje Dropa Tapsi, Sanje Sumba, Sanje Zoba Sanje Jomdin de Teyan, Tambe Chunyam Solane, Chute Lamji. Sordos and the Langal Sundu, then Sanje Dropa Lama Tabi Chujimi tos. Then Sanje Tambo Sanje Sumba Chuti, Tele, then Rosa Langa Jimi tos. Chuseba la Trobo Governor, Trobo ne Gende Column Mito Sumbasel, they do that Tisam la Capson Roguvers, ye knows.
So why we have to take refuge in these three jewels, not only one, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So all these three things are necessary for us to achieve enlightenment because Buddha is the teacher and master who show us the path to enlightenment because he already been through that path and he already realized and he already achieved his ultimate goal. So therefore, he is the master. So then we have to take refuge in a path because if we don't go through that path, we won't be there. So therefore, we need a path to go to a state of enlightenment. And then the Sangha, and when we go through such a path to omniscient, we have to have some sort of companion that has a right direction, that who knows how to get there. So therefore, all these three jewels are fundamentally important for us. So therefore, we should take refuge in these three jewels.
Tetarian Jorin Jukwa Senze, Pa Jomi Jopa Sanje, Dan Kudan, Son Ku Gende, the rank capson drawer, Ji Hisumba time. Jorin Jukwa Sanje, but in Jukwa Meba, and Jukwa Jura Tampi, Manjaras Saranze, but then Jab Meba la Joba, Zoba Sanje, Jom Linde, Geva Nida Demba. Tayasumba Tambe Chu. Then it's so you getting there. That getting Chang, getting the Chang, so the getting that the Changa gets along here, somebody getting Chang, Chang, Sell. They getting Chang, getting that. Tereng to Japson draw Chiso, Chisumba Dar. That data with Japson draw sort and rogo this.
It says that I'm going to take refuge in these three jewels from now, because these three jewels would be the right protection for those who don't have a protection. These three jewels have the power to remove all the obstacles of our path, and they have a power to remove any fears and terrifying stages that has to go through. So therefore, I'm going to take refuge in these three jewels from this moment.
Oh, that Rusenet, the Nicaps or Roarchi, Hisumbata. Onan Cora like Obator, Nayan. Daki Caps Simbala, Job Nipa, Job Daki Caps Simbe. Jong Nisan Yana Tesum Zate, Tanang Aranja, Taker Kaja tell Lordy Lupake, tell me the caps song that the day Una Minas and say, Jenny the song. Then the Dode Yang in the Valley, Conjoson la Capsona, Jabami but Tower George, Yang in the Vendole, Conjoson la Yang Tower Japsona, Cora than my song with the one Jaguatan.
Of course, a lot of times that we can have a lot of doubt that if we take a refuge in these three jewels, whether we really be achieve enlightenment, whether we really be protected from all this pain and suffering. So one of the sutra called a sutra of free from suffering, or sutra of Nirvana, it says that those who take refuge in these three jewels would completely free from any fears and disaster and pain and suffering. So that is actually one of the statement from Buddha himself.
The need data Jobson draw taken Nesarkina that Java comes to Kazaki Simbari. The need Jobson Sone. Mugella, Lopunja, Loma la Dawa, Dada Daptes. Jarrett as Hanjongo, the same keeper, Teguachi Milan, like Huber Sable, Takarago Hilisina. Jarrett Namke Karchapadna, Simjin Tamji, Chabu by nose. Simjin Tamji, Karchapan, let and Nomo by Chabu by nose. Nomo by Karchapan, let and Language Chabu by nose.
And based on such a refuge, and then of course we have to practice on this compassion, and based on right understanding and right view. And what we have to understand is that as long as there is a space, there are sentient beings. As long as there is sentient beings, there's karmic cause and effect. As long as if there's karmic cause and effect, there is negative emotions. As long as if there's negative emotions, there is pain and suffering.
Teni data we chagye by yansi, language karchab the Dungaja chagye by imbene, Dungaja simji te da tamje, simji te da tamje, daga pama shada imbane. Shada yende Pame train to Jimba Kona, you know, that they're going to that Sancho Singer, Captain the New One, Jeverki and Rite, Tani Pama de Ke, Tambo, and the Naranke Lukibe, train Jawatan. Tani the Sojong Saber, Doma, Sojong Saber, train Jawatan. There, Maze, Tani that there, Pogil, the Kajakiba. Round top the bar, the Ruyo Maris, Nyale Nyole Hamova, the Nichorda of Yuri. Did the solar Sam Mihiba, La Salog Lap, Dog Mihiba, and Solog Lap, Draw Mihiba, and Draw Lap, Logan Sim Mihiba, Logan Lap, and Zambe Magate. What the Sambe Sinji Jan. 제외 책이 야몰람네 경송하지 샤다리스.
So basically, all the sentient being in this cycle of existence is full of suffering because they are not free from karmic cause and effect. They are not free from negative emotions. Therefore, none of them free from suffering. So that's why it would be the right object for us to use for our practice, our compassion and the loving kindness. So when we use them, what we have to think is that first you have to understand their pain, and then you have to understand that all the sentient being, every living being, have been our mother. So when they were our mother, they were extremely kind. They have to spend so much time and energy to raise us, because we are not came out from mother's womb with everything is there. You know, we came out as a piece of, I don't know, piece of something. So then kindness mother took care of us through so many hardships and difficulties and training. We have show us how to eat when we don't know how to eat, and show us how to wear our clothes when we don't know, and show us how to go to washroom when we didn't know, and all kind of things, you know. And not only that, there are so many steps that has to took through.
Teni te tawu pama train kona yengde, teni te indu pama ti, teni parna Bojeji sardo so tongwa la soba, dongha nyongwa dada ngujo zungaran dongju yimbari, dada koran so so mazi yori mari de yenda yang pama zoju di, teni rangi Bojeji marza, teni kansen so ya tongto batangu yobari, teni te indu da te tawu pama te yang korwa dongha ji jamso jembol, san dongha bada maiba nyong, Telang gongjab singin na mi, shengdo dongwa jo ore ja, nyong mungba na tengdo shengdo nyong na ma, dana dewa dan tre na kya marang, dongwa dan na kya marang, nyambata. Nyingi tarke sinsu shokde gongs.
So the reason why we have a real life of a human being, it's only because of our mother. So without our mother, it is impossible. So a lot of times, and so many mothers even give up in her own life for sake of her child. Even though she loves her more than anything else, but still ready to give up her life. So if we understand all this way, and then we actually generate our compassion in such a way that all this kindness, great mother, may they free from suffering and causes of suffering, and may they achieve happiness and causes of happiness.
Ani pamake sa mawa tong magre, o tendo longjo nangwa do badele de tu maris. Koran tu nisi me la kangar jap. Bojeji sardo sa da so budonga sekha bate ka pad me ba jowli mado kanjo marjo ni sal pad na ni pad sal ji on na gi mari ti te ta o che go ne ka nga donga pad me ba nyong yu du ta ti ta da train jang wa te la dli la ti ninge donga le taran de blo san jok ji si ma da go ne go mos.
So, all this food and clothes that we used to have, is actually not growing from the ground. It's not falling from the sky. It's only because our parents have been working so hard for us. So that's why we actually owe them. And you shouldn't think that you're doing such a great favor for them and when you help them, and so forth. So that's why when we generate such a profound and extensive loving kindness and compassion, we should understand that we really owe them. Now, everything that we are doing for them is we have to, and we owe them.
단단한지 동도 안 단단지 체도 양다고 두고 상제 토벌사 사상 상정조도 선비대 니바 탐비세네 연디 탐비 라도 번로와 타다 동 로와 타다가 동사와 니바 대다기 사와 냐바다고 시 다기 토벌사와 냠도 선 좀더 겪고 시다데 동아다다 리전 동아 타런데 빌로 조고 상제제 공부한테 버스기기 동조바 사이 예인냐부터 달로도 게이바 예인시.
So once you have such an understanding and you really want to serve all sentient beings, so what is the best way to do that? It's become enlightenment. Because right now, our ability is very limited. So use this ability, cannot serve countless sentient beings, cannot remove the suffering of all sentient beings. So therefore, the best way is first, if we achieve enlightenment, we realize true nature of ourselves, we abandon all the obscurations and faults and limitation and achieve every aspect of the quality. So then we have actually full ability to serve them in any approach and through any anger.
다 되네 되에 지소 되게 또 로부지 소견의 유부 상제단 상조 선발단제 달라고서 소견의 유부 상제단 상조 선발단제달라고서 소르시 로부달라고서 소르 로마티 요제 다 맹데키 제베스 랑가만카고 디 제와 겐다도 준발레송에 제와 무마 제와 무마한테 제와 다바드메 비케르데 준발레송을 개와탄 Sutra sungwa le sungwa gewa, gomba le sungwa gewa tsawa, rangi jiba tang, yin le gyoje tsarwa tang, yin ji jiba le jisu yera war jiba ndi, jatan hungje ta teke gyoje gewa tsuji de se ne, ta pa ne sanjo ji sinti gona, te te le kebar sebe pa ne ngaran tsuju, skimsa zangbo la, medo ke guba nangi de, sinyo kwa tang, Chadam muson to tokpa tangi par sem tamar se ne, teni di geza tela tine sanjo si ki gupe na. Tera pe chata dan hun te gen kyukwa dra chomba yantar pa sobo sanje nam dan. Teni sa chenpo le kyukwa sancho sempa nam ji kyang, tambo sancho yantar pa sobo sancho to tokke pa te gen to da mengdi ki gewe da tun dene samde. Jase sancho nyumbo chiga pardo sita dani karise ne ngara de jamro shuli kapsa ina soda de domba ina da kesen choyo pardo dele dare ta tru bari ten dani de sanchom himbo le chiga pardo so sanchom sangmaje je pardo odni sanchom jot sembi kiesi.
So based on that motivation, and then, of course, we have to do the actual ceremony of receiving the Bodhisattva. And first, what we have to do is we have to say all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from 10 directions, from 3 times, give attention to me and listen to me. And I, whatever is your name, and it could be the Bodhisattva name, all the accumulation and every deed that I have been accumulating through my past lifetimes, since beginningless time, create by myself, or I encourage for other people to create, or I rejoice for others' good quality and activity and practice from previous lifetimes, such as the merit that comes from generosity, practice and meditation, contemplation, listening, and passion, effort, diligence, and concentration, and everything that I did or I encourage for other people to do, or I rejoice, I give to all sentient beings, countless sentient beings. Those have been my mother and kindness mother.
대진도 다 상정님보는 기계파도 simply 마다와나 다와다 마도와나 트로와보스는 마소는 여기와다 양인의 마대바는 양인의 바세기 바사오스 simply 마다와서 이소소도 동안에 마다와 다와다 simply 마다와데 된 거로 동안에 마다와나 다와다 그래서 라다 말라서 본도나 도리데 타바 동안에 마다와다 도리데 동안에 마다와다 도와다 오 마세임바세데 tani rang sanje tang nyangkyu la soba nam zoba sanje je kompa toba wok masaywa nang wok yungwa te ta cherang sankyong jo to semki jen tani yongsi nyangay le dar njoro osi jiba tabri te tari yongsi sanje je kompa toba njoro osi yongsi nyangay dawar yongsi mandewa da si yongsi nyangay le mandewa da dra jomba kompa topne sanje je kompa toba le mari te yongsi mandewa da yonsu nyangin dawa le to la name ba yonsu ba sanjo to senki ba so si ta senki ngubye langwa te lin son te ji du se ne ti tu te ge de chorsam go saris.
So then of course you have to think that every part and every aspect of myself I dedicate to all sentient beings, and what I want to do is I want to liberate all the sentient beings, those who are not liberated. I want to, achieve all sentient beings enlightenment, those who are not enlightenment. And I want to lead all sentient beings to the state of omniscience, those who are not there. And I want to free all sentient beings from suffering, those who are not. And I even want to transform all these arhats and those who are actually not in a ultimate liberation. So basically what your dedication or view of motivation here is every single being and lead to state of omniscience. You want to make samsara a completely empty. So you want to do that from this moment to achieve enlightenment. So this is the time. Time is from now till achieve enlightenment. Achieve great bodhisattva. When we say bodhisattva, it's just a bodhisattva, and when we say great bodhisattva means enlightenment. So that is Buddha, until we are become Buddha, and I want to do that. So that is our, motivation should be when we receive bodhisattva vows.
Ni teye le do hibane ta guche de dali. Pa na singi guche de da se pa na singi teye che de chele. No na kansang ko singi tamje ji che do tong te gobar sa se do tamja wari. Tamja ngara dog yen. Ta tamja se ngara tu jiti pa pa ke se na ji ri. Tani kyuje ke se tamja wari.
So what you're doing is you're basically promising or taking a commitment that you will serve, you will help all the sentient beings of the three realms of the samsara or 6 realms of the samsara. So that is in Tibetan we call tamja, means taking a commitment, or it's like a swear, a promising.
Teni Tetavi Gigi Tankin Dropa La, Dar Gawa Gombata, Troa Yubata, Laba Giba So Yeba Nedi, Da Gawa Gombate, Gigi Tankin Dropa, La Gawa Gombate, Gawa Gomse, Tangaran, Taran Sanji Recto, Sanji says, Tajotos, in Mundu Nenjone, then Sanjo got the Sanki of the Sanjo Samba Samaki, or Teta Mang, Ton Nenjo, Sanjo got the Sanjay Batam Piet, and he let them Mayaton, the Nenjone, then it all Maya Nenjo do, Sanjo Sambasi, or Tempus the Rangawa Gombata. Then he gained that La, Gingawa Gombala, Lada Lamin Lasso Gaurki, Sumba Nagin there, Jojo Lekeba Nagin there, La, Lamin, Kasojo, La Tangi, Aranka Sanjo, Tente Battle, Cheat and Tingon, the Gawa Gombarki so.
So when we complete the celebration or ceremony of a Bodhisattva vow, from that moment, actually we become sort of Bodhisattvas because we change our ordinary life into Bodhisattva life. We change our ordinary name to Bodhisattva. So therefore, we have to celebrate and appreciate. There's two types of celebration. We celebrate ourselves by ourselves, saying that, wow, today I'm a Bodhisattva. Such a great feeling, such a great and profound pleasure, you know. And then you request all the other, local spirits and God and goddess, and a non-God and non-human being to celebrate for your great, limitless joy.
That is our Sanchon Choda Samji Bati, Dukejema, Geg Samji Batamji, Mundu Nanger Payon, Tini Jache Bate. That I will Ranga go by the Ginga go to Jone. They Laza and Jodo, so then you put Laza than Member Laza in Maboshi with it. You put Laza, Member Jobo Laza so one, you ever hear with it. The other Semji Sancho Sambaki Sawate. Simji and Chair the Sawan the law, Sancho to the Simji Daran de Bata. Simji the Sancho Samba, Sancho Samba, Simji Lamba, Tedaka Tondo. Paji Nidupdan de Batoa, you know, see. Nidupdan, oh, Naranki to drop to you, Narangi Trogindo, Narangi Gogindo, Naran Kalasa Gogindo. So nothing Giloglis, that's our main bar. Tenicora, Carisina, Kaji Commandant Suwa Nagita. Tola Chankor, seen the Pecho, oh, Teni, Lula Chankor.
So generating such a profound motivation or bodhicitta or altruistic attitude or even glimpse of generating such a transcendent awareness has a limitless benefit because it is such a great creation of a cause and conditions for the happiness of countless beings. So that's why it's called Bodhi Janchup Simpa. Simpa means courage, brave. So why we say that brave is because you're never afraid of helping others and serving others. So you're always ready to benefit other sentient beings. So that means you're outrageously brave.
Teni Teta Sancho, Nidupdan de Batoa war. Teta will call the Kimba, Mumba Simki Chowa, the Hiesimba race, Mumba Simki. Then you was a detail afternoon. You was a detail getting my case.
So basically, that covered all the aspects and rituals and ceremony of the aspiration bodhicitta. So we're going to stop here, and afternoon, then we can start the what do you call generation stage of a bodhicitta.
Oh yeah. Welcome.
And there will be a meeting at 12 o'clock about the retreat.
Retreat meeting?
Yes. Right here, 12 o'clock. just-